Thank you very much. I'm very happy to be here in front of you and through Zoom. I think we've got great speeches this morning around the importance to bring more carbon into the soils. And I want to maybe illustrate another way to do that through what we're doing at NetZero. So NetZero is a French startup dedicated to large-scale carbon sequestration in soils. And we want to develop a way that accelerates carbon sequestration, leveraging a product that is called biochar. Biochar was introduced nicely earlier today by Mr. Kenji Banai with the way to carbonize leftovers from branches. What NetZero is trying to do is to bring biochar at scale in the tropics. And this is a very different model from what has been done maybe elsewhere, and maybe many of you are familiarized with biochar in Europe and in North America. We want to operate a model in the tropics, because in the tropics, there's lots of biomass in the form of agricultural residues, and there's soils that in many instances would benefit a lot from additional carbon. So what is biochar? It's a solid product that looks like charcoal powder. It comes from pyrolysis of any kind of biomass, but we want to do that with agricultural residues. So it's highly renewable and does not require additional land use. When mixed with topsoils, basically biochar has two properties. It stays there for extended period of time, so it's a carbon sink, and it improves the soil quality as a soil amendment. So our model is basically to use large-scale production units. So the industrial side of it, not the artisanal side that was mentioned earlier, to produce basically two things: to produce biochar that sequester carbons and improves soil quality. And so it has benefits, especially in rural areas of developing countries in tropical areas. And through our process, we also generate renewable electricity, leveraging the additional syngases. And so that brings additional benefits in the form of electrification in rural areas. We think it's a model that is scalable, and the objective of NetZero is to bring this model as a way to replicate everywhere where important sources of biomass are available. We estimate that there's anywhere between 1.5 and 2 gigatons of suitable biomass available every year in the tropics to produce biochar. It's an IPCC validated solution. IPCC in general estimates the potential of biochar between 1 and 2 gigatons of carbon CO2 removal per year. So we're talking about something that is quite significant. And at NetZero, we've built a roadmap to reach a modest 1 million ton before 2030. Our first plant has been constructed, is finished. It's built in Cameroon. And actually, we announced yesterday, together with the Minister of Environment of Cameroon, a strategic plan to grow biochar production in Cameroon with the objective to build 50 plants like this by 2030. And actually, Cameroon is the first country to include biochar in its climate roadmap at scale. So an interesting initiative. We want, of course, to replicate to other tropical countries, and would be very happy to report in the future years of how this is moving forward. And again, bringing more carbon to the soils and bringing carbon where it's needed the most in areas where farmers don't have access to fertilizers and where soils benefit a lot. Thank you for your attention.